Hi, Naomi. How you doing?
Hi.
How was lunch?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Okay. We're almost there, dear. It's Friday afternoon. Yay! All right. Let's see. See if I can close about 2 more windows and I'll be all right. Okay. All right. Yeah, we got about 3 minutes. Well, 2 minutes now.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, lady?
I'm doing well, sir. How about yourself?
Well, Friday afternoon. We're gonna get there.
Oh yeah,
So,
it's going to happen.
yep. We are on the downhill side now.
Yes, sir. We are. So let me ask the question: what's going to happen after the last week? Are they going to install more classes, or is this just over?
No, it's over for about a month.
Okay.
And then, because I will be gone.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're going out in
Yes,
explore.
out into the world
Very-
for a little while. And then, but I will be back in November. Okay.
Okay.
After the first week of November. And shortly before then, I will send out links to the classes and times and, dates. And it will magically begin appearing on that list that they mail every week.
Okay.
Yeah, but for the next month or so, after this, we won't have any, well, I won't have any classes scheduled. Okay.
Okay.
But Kermit and, there's a bunch of people still have
Yeah.
classes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I've attended the other classes. Yes.
Yeah. So it's not like it's all going away and there'll be nothing to do. So
Well, good. That's good to know.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna keep you busy,
Good. Very good.
I mean, just because I'm not around.
Yeah. Good. Good. Okay.
All right. So it's about time to get started. Okay. Yes, it is. It's right at
2:00.
yeah. All right, guys. So we're gonna look at some things. Actually, I'm gonna start. Ilan, and I see him up there. He sent in a link.
Yes, sir.
To a guy's is this Instagram page.
Let me say something.
Yeah, okay. Say something.
I get a daily email from the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York.
Okay.
And in every email, they have 4 or 5 different artists with amazing work that they do. It's just unbelievable. So I don't know which one I sent you today, but I was impressed, so I sent it.
Okay. All right.
But in general, it's the Metropolitan, it's My Met, it's called My Met, and I get it daily.
Okay. All right. Well, who you sent me was a guy by the name of Eric Berman or something like that.
Have a look at him.
Yeah. Anyway, he's in. His last name is Bernal. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, and he's in Puebla, Mexico, by the way.
Yeah.
Probably a young guy. He does a lot of what we would call anime. And that's mainly, what he's doing. So I will share the page right there. And so he's got, a variety of images. Some of them are, like I said, real extreme and kind of, anime type. But others are really, pretty lovely. Okay, I'm not going to sign into Instagram. I don't have an Instagram account. But he's got some, he's got some nice things. It's good to see that he's working on something other than his lined notebook, which these are. So he got a sketch pad or something, and now he's working. Actually, some of these look like they're on toned paper, and then he's working with maybe an airbrush and putting in some color, kind of opaque color. And, it's got a nice effect to it. It really does. Evidently, he's taken some animation classes or something, life drawing classes. Because, yeah, he's doing nice stuff. Okay.
That might be your future neighbor next year.
Well, I'm more than likely not going to Mexico right now.
Oh, okay.
First of all, I'm an American and they wouldn't let me in.
I thought you said New Mexico.
No, he's in Puebla, Mexico.
Ah, okay.
Yes, he's a little south of the border. Okay.
Yes, okay. Gotcha.
Okay, yeah. Now, I wouldn't mind going to Mexico. In fact, that was going to be my first choice. But with stuff going on in the world, yeah, probably not. Okay. Anyway. All right. So you guys were good. You sent in a bunch of drawings. I still have a request. Label your work. Okay. I do not know who Image is. Okay. IMG. All right. It takes just a few minutes. Find the file, put your name, then a dash. You can call it whatever you want, or you can leave it a number. Doesn't matter. But make sure your name is on it. That saves me an enormous amount of time. Okay. So, just keep that in mind. Do not just send it to me as Image. Okay. There we go. So we're going to start off, and we're going to start off with Bernice Washington. Is Bernice here? I haven't seen her yet. Hello, Bernice, where are you? No.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I hear her. Okay, I hear Eloise. Bernice, are you here? No. Okay. All right. Well, I'll skip this one for now. Maybe she'll make it. Okay, and then we'll come back to it. All right. So we got Bob. All right. Now, Bob, I'm going to actually, yeah, okay, this is a good one to start with. This is where Bob was a couple of days ago. All right. And this is an ink wash drawing. And so Bob has developed this further, and this is where Bob is now. Okay, so Bob's put in a little bit of like fine pin line over his washes to kind of reinforce the shapes and everything there in the drawing. And if you will notice, it's beginning to work pretty well, right? All of this area in here is kind of pulling forward. This is sitting back fairly well. Now, Bob?
Sir?
I have one comment. If you would kind of see these squiggly dark lines right here that are almost black?
Where? What, along the shoreline on the far side?
The shoreline, the tree right here.
Okay, all right, I'm with you.
Yeah. What I would do with those, I would not have put like a hard thick pin line back here.
Well, that was a boo-boo.
Okay. So if you can take either a Prismacolor pencil or something like that, like a white Prismacolor pencil, and
Okay,
just fade that back a little bit. You know, you don't have to take it out. Just take it down so it's not quite so strong.
all righty.
Then all of that will really sit back where it belongs, and all of this will really pop forward. Right now, this, you know, which is very nice, and, you know, you've handled that really well, is competing, you know, with these things right here,
Gotcha.
okay? Because A, the lines are bolder and thicker, and they're just as dark, okay? And that cannot actually be, you know, if that's, you know, across a body of water from you, okay?
Okay,
Values, values, and more value.
amen, brother.
All right. So you also sent in, I'm going to start with your reference, okay?
Okay.
And, you know, Bob is doing a painting of this lady, which is one of your friends, right?
She is.
Okay.
So over 60 years.
Okay. So you've known her for over 60 years. And so that was the reference photo you worked from. How big was the photo, by the way?
Well, it was online. I mean, basically, it came from her Facebook photos.
Okay. All right.
But I did blow her up. So
Okay. Well, all right, because what I'm going to say to you is, all right, you got a good beginning here. Now, what you need right in here is you need to differentiate the value. Okay, there has to be more contrast from here to here.
where I don't see your cursor.
You don't see the cursor right there
No.
on the cheekbone?
No.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Her
okay.
right
You just,
cheekbone.
oh, okay. All right. All right. Oh,
from the bridge of the nose to the jawline, you really got to, you know, you've got some change in temperature, okay? But if you squint your eye down, there's no change in value.
all righty.
And you don't, not just changing the temperature, but you also have to change the value, right? So it's going to be brightest right here, and then it's going to get just slightly darker as it moves in there, and just slightly darker as it moves down there. Now,
Okay.
it may not be the same, right? You know, like this may be warmer, and that may be cooler, right? But again, the
Right.
values have to shift, not just the temperature, okay? And then, and that way, you see her face will begin to look three-dimensional. It's like from here to there works pretty well, but then from here across, all the values are pretty flat.
All right.
So give that some thought, okay?
Gotcha.
And then here's your
Glass.
glass and your glass paint. And now you're beginning to use glass paint the way I've seen it used in the past. And it's real translucent, and it really does come off almost like stained glass. It looks pretty darn nice, huh?
It is nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
I just stuck that up this morning just to see if I like it or not, and I think I'm going to keep it for a while.
Okay.
Looks good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice job. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job.
And this is from Fran Littner. She did Pluto. Okay.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, it is. Very cute. Pluto became my desktop over lunch inadvertently. As I was downloading the photo, I hit the wrong thing. I hit the part that says make it your desktop image. Okay.
Think of all the fun you can have now.
So I got to live with Pluto for a little while. But Fran, are you here? No, I do not hear Fran. Okay. All right. so we'll move on to Ilan. And Ilan, this is,
Yes, sir. That's my latest version.
yes, you've added more lines because this was your, is this your earlier version? Yes, this was
That's an earlier version.
that's an earlier version, and then this is your final version.
That's my final for the competition.
Right. So I got a couple comments to make with or for you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you cleaned up the shape here, which is very nice. You began to soften the edge here, right?
Yes.
I guess my question is, why did you leave this edge really hard like that?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Maybe, I'll tell you what, maybe it's not real final. So
Yeah.
let me work on it a little bit.
Well, because, okay, here's the thing. If you soften this edge right here,
Yeah.
then it becomes less distracting and the sharper edge of the sculpture itself becomes more dominant.
Okay.
Okay. And so what you know, I mean, the backgrounds, you know, all the different scenes are nice and they're kind of soft anyway because they're from Mother Nature, right? You know,
Yeah.
but then you've got these man-made objects here and, you know, they would tend to be dominant anyway because of the hard lines and things on them. And then you're making them compete with, you know, by the way you're cropping your images and how
Yeah.
hard that is. So you see, I would soften this down here and right in here, and then right here along the lake, again, you know, make it more irregular, okay?
Okay.
And if you do that, my thought, you know, even in here, it feels a little bit hard. And you can do it either way. You can use the color from the photo and just bring a little of it into, you know, that edge and break it up. Or you can take more of the blue and again, you know, just break it up as it moves in over the photo. Again, you just don't want to leave any sharp, hard edges and lines, okay?
Okay.
So yeah, if you do that, I think you'll be happier for one, you know, and when you look at this, your eyes will be drawn to the statues, not those hard edges of the photos, okay?
Okay.
And again, that's just my opinion. You know,
Whatever you say, boss.
whatever I say. Okay, so while we're here, I'm going to step you through so you can kind of see the complete process. This is that
Story.
Turquin flower, and so this is how it started off. It was just a pen line drawing, right? Now it's a pretty good sized pen line drawing. It's you know, probably about 10 inches tall. There's where we left it the other day, you know, with the first couple of layers of wash on it and beginning to get some dark and light values. Okay. And this is where it ended up.
Right.
Okay. As of today. Right. Now, you know, after I shot the video and showed it to you, and I wanted to finish this up, remember me saying I was going to come back in with something that was opaque and light? So, you know, I pulled out a Prismacolor pencil and, you know, I added those veins, you know, into the leaf, you know, here and here. You know, I highlighted a couple of the edges. Now, the Prismacolor pencil, it's white, but it's not opaque, right? So all it did is just lighten things up a little bit. Okay, it's not like it's not making it nearly strong enough to compete with like these lighter flowers and things like that. So you can use, you know, different media. You know, and the color pencil is dry media over something that went down wet. But if you're going to do something like that, make sure that you let the paper dry, okay? You don't want to try, plowing into it with a pencil or anything like that while it's wet. It could tear it, right? So that's kind of how that ended up. Then we have Jean.
Oh,
Okay.
that's beautiful.
Whoops, we're going the wrong way. Okay. All right, so this is Jean's painting. Evidently, it's in Africa, I would guess. And
Yeah, that's my grandson went on a trip when he graduated high school
okay, all
or
right.
college. I'm not sure which one now. It's
Anyway,
about 2 years old. Yeah.
He went and hung out with the lions. Huh?
Well, it was from his photographs. My son and well, his whole family went for his
Mm-hmm.
graduation.
Okay, so you've done a nice job. You got some really nice atmospheric perspective going on in the painting, and it's moving back in distance, and the lions are coming forward. You got all of your high contrast, really right in this area. So and you've managed to keep the tree and everything else a little bit softer so that these guys pop out. So yeah, I think that's a pretty nice job. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. Then you got this guy. All right.
Yeah, that was my practice trying to do the face.
Okay. Well, he's got a, he's definitely got a face, and he has a lot of character. All right. Now, one thing, I want you to squint your eye down and look at,
Which area?
well,
The whole
the
thing?
overall shape of the face.
Oh, the
Okay.
shape.
All right. So definitely, when you squint your eye down, you get, let me see. Okay, you get some of the forehead up here in light. You get the bridge of the nose and the top plane of the nose, and then you get a little bit of the front of the muzzle. Okay, and all of that makes sense, and that's great. Okay.
Down below is not.
Pardon?
I said the below the chin should have been a little darker, not as light, because it's the
You
muzzle would cover the light.
Yeah, not so certain about that.
No, okay.
Good, you could push it darker, like right back behind his mane.
No, I'm talking directly up under the mouth, that at the last, up under the little lower, all the way almost to the right in there. It ought to be a little bit darker, I think. Not as light.
Well, it seems to go dark when I squint my eye down, so that doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Here's the thing that bothers me.
Okay.
Same thing that happened with Bob when he was painting his friend's face, right?
Well, okay.
Yeah, the value. See, we're now, in Bob's case, we were looking at the light side of the face. Now we're looking at the shadow of the face, right? So if you squint your eye down,
Mhm.
it's like, okay, all of the values seem to kind of fall in together, except for a couple. And it's this really bright yellow back
Mhm.
here, right, this part under the eye, and this part right here in the corner of the eye.
Mhm. Could
And
have been darker.
pardon?
Could have
Yeah.
been darker.
Well, yeah, if you could just knock those back a little bit, okay?
If I put a little wash on top of it,
Right. Yeah.
maybe with a yellow ochre, it'll tone it down enough.
I don't know that yellow ochre would do it, because yellow ochre tends to be opaque.
Okay. Could
Sorry.
we try raw sienna then?
You could try sienna. I would just try maybe like an alizarin crimson or
Okay.
a dog's violet.
Over the yellow, the alizarin crimson,
Yeah,
like orange.
yeah, just in here. Because all you're trying to do is you're just
Okay.
trying to take the value down, right? And if
Right.
you use alizarin crimson, it's considerably cooler than yellow, but it's a lot warmer than the purple, right?
Right. But
Yeah.
it'll make it an orange, won't it?
A little bit, but that's okay. I mean, all you're really looking for is just darkening down the value.
Okay.
And if you do that, then this and this
Uh-huh.
and, you know, all of this area in here will all begin to sit on the shadow side of the face. Because right now, if you put your eye down, the light right in here, some right in here, and like under the eye right there, you know, they're all, you know, as light as the values over here. And it can't be the same.
Right. So
See?
actually, it ought to start in that largest section to, well, let's see, the eye that's on the right, yeah, right there where that white plate and down.
Yeah, it's like here and here, and really kind of,
Up there.
you know, now some of this might catch a little bit of light, but you know, I'd probably knock this part right here back a little bit.
Right, right.
And you know, again, just a little at a time. Don't be in a big rush to do it. You know, just take it down. Go back, let it dry, sit there, look at it, squint your eye down, make sure that it's beginning to fall into the shadows.
Mhm.
All right, because if you squint down and it still is kind of glowing and bright, then
Not
you know,
right yet.
it's too light. Okay?
Got it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, and again, you know, really just right in this area. Okay, don't go over here in the main,
Okay.
right? Don't go down here. Okay, just really right in this area, right
Area below, just to the side of the eyes and
Yeah.
below.
by the side and below, you know, like the cheek and the bridge of the nose. Okay. And the reason that I don't want you messing around out here is because, you know, light might get past that nose, right? And actually shine on the hair because it's not laying down on the same surface that this is. It's actually sticking up, right?
Yes. It's
So-
it's in front of like a jawline, the cheek area.
Well, yeah, but this is like a big, it's like a big bunch of hair that's sticking
Yeah.
out forward.
It's on top of it, so it needs to be light to come forward.
Well, don't do anything here. Leave that alone. Yeah, it's just from there.
Forward. I got it. I got it.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how the alizarin crimson is going to work, but I'll try it.
Well, you can try alizarin.
It's always a good idea. I mean, I'll see what it looks like with the little orange flavor to it.
Yeah, you could try the alizarin. You could also try, like I said, Dox and Violet. You could try sap green. You could try even kind of a blue, but I would probably go with the alizarin.
Okay. I think I could try the alizarin. That kind of, you know, puts a little more coloration in it, I guess. I don't know how to say that, but puts a little more.
Well, what it will do is it will keep the intensity of the colors
Down.
Well, you're going to lower the value, but you're going to keep the intensity about the same. Okay.
I have a question for Jean.
Okay.
Hi, Jean. Once again, is this hanging up in your home anywhere?
Nope, I have it in a box.
Why?
The big picture I gave to my grandson.
How big is this, Jean?
It's at least an 18 by 24. It may be the next size up, but I think it's an 18 by 24.
Wow.
Oh, this
Take it out the box,
this
Jean.
here is 11 by 14.
Take it out the box.
But the large picture is an 18 by 24.
Jean, take it out the box. Put it on the wall.
Honey, I got my wall so full you can't see the wall behind the pictures.
Well,
I got-
well, all you have to do is just rotate your work.
Yeah. I mean, that's too pretty to be in a box. That's really beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
It's like every week and a half, 2 weeks, take a few pieces
Yeah.
out, put a few new pieces up.
Yeah.
Keep it rotating.
The sad part of that is I have most of my large pieces hanging up because I have such a small place. And the smaller pieces store easier than the bigger ones.
Well, that's true, but then you don't get to live with them.
Yeah. You,
That's what-
you have a lot of, Gene, you have a lot of empty wall space behind you.
Oh, I've got pictures. I've got a very large picture over here, and two large ones behind me that you don't see hanging on the wall. And then I have photographs of my kids and my family on another wall over here. I have to share a space with my kids and my husband.
Okay. That's fair.
But it's a good idea. Good idea.
All right.
Beautiful. Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving on, we got John. Okay. So,
All right.
No, that one's not me. The next two are, but that one's
It's
not.
me.
oh, that's
June.
good. Oh, okay, June. All right. So this is June's. All right. So he's a cute little guy. You know. Did you? You're drawing this from a photograph?
But advertised as Facebook.
Oh, from an advertisement. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a couple things going on. His nose is a little awkward. It looks it looks like he fell asleep
Yeah.
on this side of his face and flattened his nose out. Okay. And the reason for that is it doesn't seem symmetrical. It's like this is actually maybe a little bit larger or wider than this. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
since this is actually closer to us, you
Uh-huh.
think just the opposite. Okay.
Okay.
But overall, I mean, you've got the idea, you know, you've got the side plane of the face, you know, going into shadow. You got the front plane of the face in what we would call midtones and lights. So, you know, that part's working for you really pretty well, right? But it's just, it's just little things like the features. And
Mhm.
the other part is that you're kind of overstating the eyes. Because you're putting this hard outline around them, and it needs to be a little softer. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there can be a line, but it doesn't have to be black. Okay?
I
About
see.
the only part that really needs to be dark is right under the upper eyelid.
Uh-huh.
That-
Okay.
That's going to be darker than the lower eyelid, because the lower eyelid in most cases is going to catch more light, right? So
Mhm. Yeah.
it can't be the same value.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. And you've got more coming up, but we're going to talk to John now.
Okay.
All right, John. So
Yep, that's me.
Oh, that's very nice.
now this is watercolor, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. You got something interesting, I mean, going on with the eyes. They, you know, you might see a little bit of light, you know, down in the lower third or so of them, but it's like too much of them are pretty light. You know, it's like here at the top, they need to get a little bit darker
Okay.
across the top. And you didn't really put a pupil or anything in there.
No. Right.
Yeah, and not that you have to, okay? You know, because again, you know, if you get just the fact that part of it is reflecting the shadow of the under part of the eyelid,
Mm-hmm.
so it actually gets dark in there. And then you let it get light as it moves to the bottom, you know, then it seems to feel rounder, you know.
Okay.
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 Yeah, eyes are fun. You know, you really got to kind of look at those carefully and see what's happening with the light, and also what she's wearing would affect, you know, the effect of her eyes too, because she is wearing something fairly light, so that's going to reflect up into the bottom
Ah. Okay. Okay.
as well. Okay. All right, and then we got this lovely girl. So what's going on? It looks like she's in Carnival or something like that, or what?
That was on the web from this last, I don't know if it was a Dragon Con or Comic Con or whatever they had recently.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they didn't have Dragon Con in Atlanta this year.
No, it was something else that they were they were doing. I don't remember which one it was now.
Yeah, they were talking about how the fact that they canceled Dragon Con this year and how it affected all the hotels and the businesses in town.
Right, correct, yeah.
Yeah, they really suffered because, that was like the one weekend that they knew that they were going to do just this, huge amount.
Right.
It didn't happen. So,
Well, I got inspired by Larry's doodling,
uh-huh.
and I never tried anything with a pen before. This was a fine point marker.
Yeah.
So
Very nice, John.
Yeah.
first
Nice.
attempt. First attempt.
Very nice. Good job.
Thank you.
How big is that, John?
What is that? 6x9, small.
Okay.
That's not doodling.
It's not.
No, I'm going far beyond it.
Oh, okay.
You just
Well,
try.
at least I didn't go cross-eyed with straight lines.
That's pretty good.
Is that a doodle
It is
master?
good.
Yeah.
Very.
Well, it's got a lot of movement, and the way that you've laid your pen line down is nice because it kind of follows the shape or the form of the objects that you're drawing. So, you've kind of been listening here, John. Wow, amazing.
Yeah, it happens occasionally.
Yeah, but it's working because again, the lines aren't just lines. They actually kind of describe the form and
Right, correct. Yeah.
across, which is nice, and it's good to see you doing that. All right.
Very
How long
nice.
did it take you to do that?
45 minutes.
Okay.
Wow.
It's a fairly complex drawing.
You didn't put enough pain into that one.
I guess not.
Yeah, put about 2 or 3 hours in it. And really hurt yourself.
Okay, I'll take that under consideration then.
So, John, I have a comment though. Okay.
Of course, yes.
Now, everything you get out here in the costume, everything else works really well, right? And even
Uh-huh.
did here on the face overall, you got the right idea, okay, but you overdid it.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Right here, and I know that's a shadow, but since the face is fairly light in value, it doesn't need to be black. It could just be, a couple of open lines like that to get, just again a darker
All right.
value than the light. And
Gotcha.
and then she would look a lot younger and a lot softer.
Could he use like a white pencil like you used to lighten that up?
No, I didn't. This is just a Sharpie, a fine point Sharpie pen.
No, but
That's
I
all.
meant in order to lighten it up without harming the piece,
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you can come back in.
white pencil to just lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I mean, then it becomes a value,
Oh.
because you grade it back, and so it's
No, after I did it, I thought too that it was too dark, but I couldn't correct it. So
yeah, and see, but that's the beauty of using a pen, because what it's going to do is if you keep doing these right over and over and over again, it's really going to get you to start thinking about, okay, I want to just lay a few little light lines in there because I don't want that value to get too dark, right?
right, as I worked on it, I got a little better with the lines and the spacing, but
It takes practice, John.
yes,
Yeah, but
My
yeah, for your
first attempt.
Very,
yeah, you did
very.
really well for your first attempt. Okay.
All right.
All right. So let's see. Then we got June. All right. And is this your daughter, June?
No, this is my friends of church
Oh,
friends.
that's right. Yeah, church friend. Okay, that's right. All right. So you got a nice drawing of her. Okay. And you got kind of a nice feel for the face and things, and you're beginning to get some shape and some form in there. The values, seem to work pretty well. If you squint your eye down, see the face doesn't go flat. It still feels little bit round. So you handled, you know, the value range across your face really nicely, and the fact that the bottom part gets a little bit darker because it turns under, and that the forehead and the cheekbones get a little bit lighter because of the angle that they're, you know, facing the light. So all of that's working pretty good, right?
Thank you.
And then you have you on your scooter.
Yeah.
So this is your drawing part.
Yes.
And I'm going to go ahead and show these. Then this is what you showed us.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Monday.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think this was the one. Now, is this the finished one or is this the finished one?
This one. This one.
That's the finished one?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. So you've got more light in it, which is nice. Okay. This one right here is looking a little bit gloomy.
Yeah.
Because the water is so gray and stuff, and you've lightened it up. You've added more color to it, and so things are a little bit brighter in here. So yeah, it's working pretty nice. Okay. Let's see.
Thank you.
Keep wanting to go back and forth. Okay, good. And you got rid of the dock that was giving you perspective problems. So, all right. Then we have, you know, Kevin Costner. You know, your, you know, you said that you were a Kevin Costner groupie?
Yeah, not really. Yeah, I like this extra, but this is because I have the magazine AARP. They just come in, so I just did that
Okay.
from magazine.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's a public figure, so, you know, he's fair game. So that's good. Okay. So it's good to see you practicing, you know, drawing faces and things like that. It would be nice though. I would like to see you try to draw a couple of faces from life rather than from photographs.
Okay.
Okay? And here's why. Because you have a tendency to flatten out your drawings, right? And the reason that you flatten out your drawings is because you're drawing from a flat,
yes,
right? Where if you were actually looking at somebody, that would sort of translate into your drawing and it would begin to feel more dimensional and round, okay?
Okay.
So enough said about that. And then, of course, I want to talk about these, which I think are great, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's been doing a lot of Japanese or Chinese calligraphy and brushwork.
That's kind of her forte. That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, these are really fun. A whole sheet of like little chicks.
Those
Yeah.
are nice too.
Yeah, and then of course, you know, she's been doing more faces. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now, again, you know, if you were drawing this from life, it would probably look a little rounder and have a little more form to it. Okay.
Okay.
Now, one thing that's happening too as you're drawing, are you keeping the paper on the table, you know, and just drawing on top of the table, or what are you drawing on?
Sometimes on the paper. Sometimes I have the board.
Okay, but now what do you?
Like this kind of board.
Yeah, what? I can't see you, so. Is it like a drawing board?
Yeah, drawing board.
Okay, are you propping it up at an angle?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Yeah, you need to start propping it up at an angle when you're drawing. Because you see how her face looks a little bit distorted? And that's because when you drew this, it was laying down on the table. And as you were drawing it, it looked right because you were looking, it was kind of like you're looking up at it, right? And so you distort things a little bit it looks perfectly fine as long as you're sitting there at the same place looking at it. But when you prop it up, then your perspective of it is totally different. Okay.
Okay.
So that would help a lot. You know, try to draw with the board angled rather than flat on the table. Okay. Now, if you want to paint, like or something like that, flat on the table is fine. Okay. But if you're drawing, you know, get that board up. Okay. At least a 60 or 70 degree angle. Okay.
Okay.
So that you can actually see what you're doing. Right. All right. Same thing here. Okay. The problem really isn't the drawing. It's the fact that you shot it laying down flat and you didn't square it up in the photo. Okay. But it's probably a pretty nice drawing. We got your flower. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know, you do a really lovely job of stuff like that. And
Yes.
you probably need to be doing more of it.
Okay. I try.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you're very good at it. You understand the process really well. And the thing I would kind of challenge you on is rather than doing like real traditional images, why don't you try some unusual subjects, you know, for a painting that would either be, you know, Chinese or Japanese in origin. Okay. So yeah, you could, instead of using a flower like that, you could take any kind of modern object and
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Then we have your fish, which are lovely. We talked about those before. Let's see. Oh, this was your preliminary for your painting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had it laid out nicely. You had a good idea of where the figure was going to be. So all that's working really well. Then we have your lovely horse.
Lovely horse. Thank you.
Well, it is lovely. Okay. And your drawing is really so much better than your painting. Okay?
Painting. Yeah. You said that.
your proportions here, you know, feel correct. In your painting, yeah, they're not quite there yet. Okay.
Okay.
You need to tweak that a little bit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, sorry. Wow. Okay, so this is your painting of you again. All right, now let's pick on Lady. Lady.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so you showed this on Wednesday. Okay.
Yes.
And this is really, you know, you can't get more of a mixed media piece, you know, than this. And she really handled it really nicely. And, you know, we just saw some of June's, like, you know, calligraphy and brush painting, like these guys, right?
Yeah.
And look how similar sort of the sensibility and the feel is, you know, between those. So you've got this really nice, very almost Asian looking, you know, I would call it a screen or something like that, even though it's small. But it's a beautiful design. You know, you've got a lot of interesting shapes, textures. Really, I mean, this is really, really a very nice piece.
I love it.
Because I like it, lady. It's very
I
pretty.
love it.
Thank you.
I wish I could see all that gold, you know, in reality.
So are those pieces that you cut out? Is that what this is?
No, those are actual pieces from a Dollar Tree puzzle I bought, and I just spray painted.
Oh, good idea. Yeah, but the background, did you paint the background also?
No, the background is from the challenge that Charles gave us, and I just
okay.
made copies of the picture.
Oh yeah. That was a great idea.
Yeah. See, that's perfectly fair. You can take those images and incorporate them into something that you're making. That's fine. You know, you don't have to just sit and draw or paint them. You could do a collage. You could do, you know, a transfer or something like that. It's all fair. Okay.
It looks good. I
And
like
tell you
it.
what, this is the first place, I'm sure. Put me on second place.
Yeah, I would say that, yeah, this is really a nice piece, lady. You
One, I wish you had been there when she explained, you know, how it looked like the gold was evening to her. And
Yeah.
what the puzzles meant and all that.
Yeah. Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's gorgeous.
Thank
It
you.
is. It's beautiful.
So,
I just, again, I use, you just have to find things that are free. I guess I'm the recycle artist, because after that class, I went out to yet another wallpaper store, and this guy loaded me up with 12 books.
Mhm.
So I have wallpaper, and some of the wallpaper is so beautiful. I don't know what to do with it. I'm just so excited. Because I used wallpaper on here to do the gold bird, and I sprayed it gold. But this was fun. This was really fun, and thank you for all the great compliments. I appreciate that.
It looks like
Have
you
a
enjoy doing
wallpaper and
it.
go in your bathroom and make a collage on the wall, one of the walls for an accent wall. I bet it would be beautiful in there.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. That's a good suggestion. Yeah.
so then
Thank
we have a drawing from Larry.
Very nice, Larry.
Yeah, this is
Really nice.
a really nice piece. I would like to see him do it much better. You know, this is a small, I think he said, like,
Can you hear me?
Larry, you there? Oh, Daddy-o, where are you? Come out from hiding.
Maybe he's still eating lunch.
Look like he left the group.
Yeah, he may.
I wanted to know, where did he start? Did he start in the center? Did he start on the end? Where did he start?
That's a good question.
Looks like maybe the center.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to make somewhat logical sense that he might start from the center, but not necessarily. So,
Right.
you know, anyway, the thing about this is it's almost like an artist that we've looked at before, M.C. Escher, and he worked in a lot of optical illusions, and that's basically what this is. This is an optical illusion that this is a three-dimensional shape, right? Or a series of three-dimensional shapes. And the nice thing is it's got a lot of movement in it.
Yeah.
It feels kind of fluid, and it feels like it's in motion. It doesn't feel like it's static. And that's a hard quality to get. So, you know, I want to give him a big shout out about that, because, you know, he pulled that off really nicely. Now I just want to, like I said, see him get a little bigger with it. Okay?
Yeah.
Now,
Very
you know, that will present its own technical challenges for him, but in other ways, it will make the process easier for him too. So, are you trying to say something, lady?
No, it's just saying how beautiful it is. It makes me think of an auger. It looks like you're in the ground looking up at an auger coming down at you.
Mhm.
You know, all the earth is being turned around. You know, it's such a nice piece.
It is.
Elon, that might push you down to third place.
Maybe, I don't know. He went to pour some color into it, Larry. So who knows?
You're slipping, Alon. There we go. Okay, so all right, so this is from May, and I don't know how many of you have met May. May was going to the Benson Center, and she's a very good painter, you know, just all on her own. But she decided to, May, you want to tell us a little bit about who these folks are?
Oh, well, that's my nephew, and he's gonna get married, and nephew and fiance.
Okay, all right. And where are they at?
Oh, New York.
In this photo, where are they?
Probably somewhere in New York or New Jersey. Yeah,
Maybe Coney Island or something by the sea, by the water.
probably. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, they're out at the beach, and so this is May's painting. You know, her.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay. So
Oh,
yeah, you're handling the color and everything pretty well. You know, looking at the figures, you know, I want you to go back and look at the proportions of things.
Okay.
You know, it's like he doesn't feel wide enough, you know, in the painting.
Oh, you mean face?
No, okay. Yeah, it's something like here in the torso, you know, to the arms. And then, yeah, probably the head too. But just go back and really check your proportions. Yeah, because he's kind of looking a little thin and bony here. And
Well, he actually gained a lot, and he's on diet for wedding.
Yeah.
So I just kind of made a little bit slimmer than what it's like a reference.
I see. You're trying to flatter him. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and they both gained some, and I just trying to make that way, so maybe they'll be so appreciative.
Yeah, you know that happens when you first get married. You know, both gaining about 10 pounds. You know, like right after the wedding. You know, like within the first 2 years, you notice that. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we both gained, you know, about 10 pounds, and you know, I guess that's because, you know, you're eating meals together regularly or something happens, you know, but that seems to kind of be the norm. So,
Okay.
but okay. Like I said, just check the proportions here. You know, the sense of light and the direction of the light here, you know, seems to be working really well. You know, going back to your horizon line, again, works pretty well. Now, the one thing I'd say, the blue back here, right at the
It's
horizon.
too dark. Too dark.
No, it's not the value, okay?
Okay.
It's the intensity,
Okay.
okay? Because it's actually more intense than any other blue you have here, okay? In fact, it's probably the most intense color on the whole painting. And that can't be. Because if this is going back to the horizon line, you know, this has got to be muted down again, so it will sit further back, letting or making the colors that you've got up here appear to be more intense. Okay.
Can we check
So just
again?
So you could take this blue and you can make a gray. But you don't want to make a light gray. You want to make a gray that's probably about a number 8 value. And then add that gray, just a little bit of it, to this.
How are you going to gray it? Add red?
Well, no, I'm saying make a gray. And
Are you going to go over it?
No. She's going to mix a new color. But the way she's going to mix a color is she's going to make a gray first that's about the right value. Then she's going to add the blue to the gray.
Oh, okay.
Right? But that way,
Gotcha.
the blue is less intense. And you don't need to come all the way down here. It's really just right up here at the top edge.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't go way down in here. You know, keep it like right up here toward the horizon line.
Okay.
Okay, and just gray that back. And what that will do is that will make that whole horizon line move backward in space for you, okay?
Okay. And I was wondering that on water, do you think that wave is just too dark, or maybe, I don't know, it's just a distance? It looked like a mountain instead of wave.
No, they actually feel like waves, but now one thing that you're doing is, you know, they're all too much the same, right?
Okay.
So if you begin to look, you know, in your reference, right? The waves back here are actually darker in value than
Okay.
this one, right? And the reason being that this one is, you know, much smaller and that the sunlight is actually passing through it and making it appear to be lighter in value than, say, these that are a little further out.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of tweaking it just a little bit.
Okay.
And so, you know, I might just take, again, you know, mix of blue or something like that, and just, you know, just wash over that area and try to lighten it up and soften it just a little bit. And then don't let these become more dominant than this, because this is closer to you, right? So again, I would gray this back, you know, really all the way up to like this, the top of this wave, right?
Okay.
All right.
What about the sand? I mean, I'm not gonna do those footprint. It's way too hard for me. But do you think it just look okay as it is?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you get the idea that it's a sandy beach. You know, you don't have to paint every grain of sand.
Okay. What about the her face? Somehow I don't like. Some I just didn't come out as I wanted it. Her face. What do you think about her face?
Well, you've got her face more round.
Okay.
And you see her face is actually a little bit flatter on that front plane. And
Okay.
then right here, then it starts turning back. But it's pretty broad and pretty flat across the front plane. And
Okay.
the way you've painted her, let's go back to the painting. Aha. Okay, so again, we've talked about this a couple of times today. Here on the light side of the face, you've taken the same value here and brought it all the way across to the jawline, right?
Uh-huh.
But that's not what happens. There's another value that's right in here that divides the front plane of her face from the side plane. So if you darken this just a little bit, now I said a little bit, it doesn't need to be as dark as this, okay? But
Okay, I
there's
got
another
it.
value in here, right? And then that's gonna make that the front plane. This
A little bit slender too. Okay.
Yeah. Okay?
Okay.
You know, it's just a real subtle little difference there, okay?
Okay. What about the sky? Looks okay, or should I make it lighter? Whole sky.
Yeah, I think it's, no, I think the value of it and things are fine.
Okay.
In fact, I like it better than the sky that's actually in the photograph.
Oh, okay.
Because it doesn't
Thanks.
have any definition.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on, we're going to do Naomi real quick because some of you have seen some of these. Some of these are new though. Like this is Naomi. Is this a new one?
You showed it Wednesday.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I showed that one and I showed this one. But this,
Yeah, you showed that.
yeah, this one in particular is really strong, and I really, really like this one a lot.
Thank you.
Probably one of the nicest things I've ever seen you do.
Oh, thank you.
But and it's got like a real strong emotional quality to it. So I don't, you know, whatever you did there, do more of it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Then we have this girl, okay, and she's very cute. She really is. Yeah. And she looks like a child because you kept the colors soft and the contrasts a little bit lower. And so that you really kind of pulled that one off pretty nicely too.
Okay, so how can I improve it?
Yeah, I don't think I would really do anything more to it. You
The
know?
hair on the top of the head?
No, I would let that, yeah, just
Leave it?
Your focal point is right here. If you go messing around up in here,
Yeah.
you're going to make that too important.
Oh, okay.
You know, I would just let that be. Now, I might say, okay, you could darken the value under the jawline or the chin just
Okay.
so slightly,
Uh-huh,
You know, because right now the value is getting pretty close. And
right.
if it were just a little bit darker, then her chin and everything would move forward a little bit more.
I see that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's really about the only thing there. But be real careful. Don't make it too dark.
Mm.
Because if you make it too dark, then she'll get a lot older. And we
Yeah,
don't,
looks good to me now. I mean, very nice.
Oh, thank you.
yeah, and we don't want to do that to her. We don't want to make her 35 before her time, okay?
35. I can't remember 35.
I
That's a very good year.
sorry. Sorry about that. At any rate, yeah, I want to get to,
We did that a lot.
yeah, we did. Okay. But yeah, really nice, really nice painting. You know, again, do more of that. Okay.
Okay.
Do more of this. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Do more of this. Don't do so much of that.
Okay, that I was trying to make it looking up at her.
Oh, okay, but again,
I missed.
well, you're
Oh,
yeah, you didn't keep the colors as soft.
Yeah.
And it's too kind of spotty. Okay.
And her nose looks, the whole thing is bad. Uh-huh.
Well, you could make that work, but
Nah.
yeah, it's mainly the color and the value, and you got to again think, you know, the color is a value, and you got to keep those working together, and you didn't do it there. Okay.
Right.
Kind of the same thing here. Okay. You know, again, the values are kind of going all over the place. You know, you gotta spend more time thinking about value, right? And it's like right in here, the body, the hair, everything else. Okay, that's working pretty well, right? I'm not sure what's happening down here.
Yeah, the behind is deformed
A little bit. Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Well, it looks like she's got a pillow sitting in front of her or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that before.
Yeah. Now, if that's part of her hip, yeah, that's
No. It's her behind. I messed up.
okay. Well, yeah.
It's funny how when you're doing it, you don't see it all the time.
Yeah. So here's how I would fix that. You know, that would become a pillow,
Oh, okay.
right? You know, and then just leave the rest of that alone because that all kind of body. But yeah, let that be a pillow or a blanket or some kind of fabric.
Mm.
You know, done deal. Okay. Then we got the mother and child. Okay. And again, you know, you've got a really nice idea. And the values work better here than they did in some of the earlier things. You didn't get quite as, you know, all over the place with it. So this is holding together a little bit better. The thing is, you need to kind of soften her arm here. You know?
Yeah, I could add water to that.
Yeah, you could. Okay. And you probably need to thin her arm down.
Yeah.
Her arm is bigger than mine when I was bodybuilding. Okay. I mean,
I see that.
yeah, this woman picks up Mack trucks with one arm. You know, she's like super strong. You know, and I'm worried about the baby right now because she's just going to crush him like a can. So, but yes.
Yeah.
So,
But I was trying to do, it was something new. I was trying to work with the hands. You know, I'm trying to do different things is what it is.
So my question is, if you're trying to work with hands and how the arm and everything connects,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I know that you're trying to get this hand to feel like it's moving further away from you than the elbow. Did you
Yes.
did you have somebody pose for you for this, or did you try to draw?
No, I got it somewhere.
No. Well, okay. Stop getting it somewhere and actually get somebody to stand there and look what happens with their arm as they kind of bring them to the front, because
Mhm.
that forearm moves at an angle, right?
And I don't have that.
No, you don't have it.
Okay.
And plus, because it's moving at an angle away from you, it looks shorter.
Yes, I see that.
There's overlapping shapes that you don't have there.
Yeah, I see it looks too short.
Well, no, it's you know, it should be shorter, but the thing that would make it look more like it's in the right proportion is if you took and you broke this shape in front, and then that behind, and then here it would break in front of the wrist, and then the wrist would break in front of the base of the hand, and then the base of the hand would break in front of the fingers. See? You know, you got to think about each of those planes and how they change. And you can't just have one single line all the way out there, because that's not what happens. You know, there's shapes sitting on top of shapes.
Very complicated, the arm and the hand. Not so easy.
Well, the whole human body is kind of complicated.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have her. Okay. Now, she's kind of borderline. She kind of sort of works. You know, but again, you're kind of doing what you were doing, you know, let's see, yeah, with her, okay? And don't do that, okay?
Okay, so don't make it so dark. Tell me again.
Well, it's, okay, it's not about making it dark, it's not about making it light. It's about have those, you know, if you're gonna have a red there, you have red, but do you want it that dark, and do you want that sharp of a line
right
there? Okay, because what that does is that flattens out that shape, and you kind of want to make it softer, make it feel like it transitions softly as it moves around, okay?
Okay, I have to do softer.
Yes, and the values have to work together.
Okay, value and softer. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Naomi, Shana Tova.
Oh, same to you. Yeah, but it's not the same going to be sitting at home.
Yeah, what can you do? It's a Shana Tova with Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's not like a holiday.
It's the New Year is tomorrow.
Right, yeah.
The Jewish New Year.
Okay.
I have a question. Well, I have it for Charles. I'm just curious. I was a few minutes late signing on, but I don't see the 4 pictures that I sent right after lunch, right before lunch.
That's because we're coming up to them.
Oh, okay. I'm just.
We're not.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not in the S's yet. We're still in the N's. Okay?
Oh, is that how you're doing? Okay. All right.
All right.
I just wanted to make sure you got them.
We did. Okay.
Okay.
And then, all right, so then we have Surin, and this is actually out at the Heritage Center in Sandy Springs, and we had a model come out there and sit for us. So this is a photograph without the model, and then this is the painting that he did, putting the model there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
very pretty.
Yeah, and it's got a nice feel to it.
Nice.
Yeah, the, you know, right in here, now these trees are not way far away, but still I would have kind of graded them down a little bit more than he did. I mean, he did it here, and he's got that kind of sitting back. These get a little too intense and a little too bright because they kind of distract you and pull your eye over here rather than let you kind of stay here. And so, yeah, it's just a matter of tweaking that color right in here so that it's a little more muted, okay? And I don't know whether he was here this morning. I don't think he's here this afternoon. Let's see. Okay.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
Since you've been helping me with that same issue, I'm more conscious of it, and it seems like the bushes in the foreground are more muted than the background trees.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. It's like the most intense color,
right,
in this whole painting is really right here. Okay, and it
And that's what I'm trying to correct in mine.
yeah, and it really should be all over here. Okay, because that's where we want you to look. Okay, this is not that important. Okay, so you could gray that down a little bit. It would be there. It still suggests that there's trees, but it wouldn't compete, with her. Okay. All right, so let's start. All right, so Susan, here you are. Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you got them. That's what I was mostly concerned about. That's a dessert. It was like a pencil charcoal type thing, but
okay. Now is it a piece of cake or what kind of dessert is it?
It's like it's I forgot. I copied it from a picture, so it's it may be like not like I think that's a cherry on top, and it's chocolate. I know it's got chocolate in it, and I like anything chocolate. So,
okay, because of like your outlines here.
Yeah.
These look like rectilinear forms which make planes. So it looks like something that was cut like a cake or, maybe a piece of pie, something like that. But it reminds me more of cake for some reason. I don't know why.
Because it's tall.
Yeah.
Taller than pie would be.
Yeah. But also it looks stacked,
Yeah.
Dividing line. So it looks like, kind of a layer cake. You got one layer, then another, then you got the icing.
Yeah, it was stacked. It was.
Yeah. But okay. Now your line work back here is generally you're getting the idea, okay, and it's moving in the right directions and things like that. All of this back here. Now this seems to change direction right here. Like it's a different plane, like it's a piece of fabric or something back there.
Yeah, it did. It did change. It was
okay.
When I was copying it, it did.
Okay, and see, and that's fine because again, you're telling somebody, okay, this plane was running to this, to this point, and then all of a sudden there was a fold or a crease or something, and it changed direction, right? And that's
right.
What this is, and that's fine. Okay, because all of that's working pretty well. The actual surface that the plate is sitting on, okay, all of the grain and stuff there is all kind of running the right direction, and that seems, again, to work, perfectly fine. Now, when it comes to the cake, is this like a wrapping on the outside of it? Or is
it's the chocolate. It's the chocolate on the side.
Okay. So
it's dripping down the first layer, I guess, and then it's just more chocolatey plain on this second layer.
Okay.
Right.
On
the chocolate, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm having a hard time, I understand what you're saying, but I'm having a hard time seeing it in your drawing. Again, you've got this moving in the right direction to describe the plane, and it also suggests that this is in shadow because of the cast shadow here and this being darker. So the light's coming, from the left, I'm assuming.
Right.
And so all of that, again, you've got the right idea there, okay, and you're moving in the right direction. Now, the thing is, the texture and the feel of that piece of dessert, cake, pie, whatever it is, okay, is not the same as it would be for a piece of wood, right, or fabric that's laying across the table.
Right.
And so if I were doing a drawing like that, I would change, I wouldn't use straight lines for this, because what I'm trying to tell somebody is, oh, there's a whole totally different texture and things. It's not made out of cloth, and it's not made out of wood or metal or anything else. What it's made out of is it's this spongy, like bready cake material, right? And so rather than put these straight lines down, See, then you could use a technique that they call stippling. You know what that means?
No.
It's where you make dots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, rather than lines, see, make dots. The other thing you could do, and I think we talked about this, with a pen, you can take a fine line pen and you can just make like little squiggles, or scribbles, right? Not this, just little kind of random, right? And it tells you that the surface is not hard and smooth, that in fact it's kind of soft, and it's got some texture to it, right? And so when you're using line in a drawing, there's more than one kind of line, right? And so the key is find a variety of lines, and you can have different kinds of lines in different parts of the drawing, as long as it's sort of described not only the shape and whether the object was light or dark, but also, was it hard? Was it soft? Was it something that if you poked your finger at, it would move and be soft and spongy? Or is it going to be like a piece of wood, and you're tapping your finger on a table or something, right?
Right.
So you can begin to describe, those differences, even with pen line. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have your parrot. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually a collage.
Okay.
With tissue paper.
All right. Yeah, I was going to ask you because it didn't look like a painting or a drawing.
Yeah, it's tissue paper, and so some of it, and you can't see the background too well there. I guess the colors didn't come out. But I also use some color pencils and a little bit of like this. Stem is color pencils, and the feet area of color pencils. But the rest of it is pretty much the tissue paper.
Okay. Yeah. And so, what did you use to basically put this down on the surface? Did you use like a gel medium or an acrylic, or did you use like a glue?
What glue?
Like white glue? Okay.
It was just an Elmer's glue.
Yeah, and that works really well for stuff like that. One of the things I like to work with when I do like collages with paper is I use this material called heavy gel medium, and it's all it is a clear acrylic. When you open up the jar at first, it looks white, but you just brush it onto the paper surface you're putting down, or actually on the surface you're sticking it to, and then put your piece down and embed it. And as it dries perfectly clear. Okay.
Oh wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, and it's easier to clean up, and it's easier to kind of work with, for a while. You got your flower here. Okay.
Oh, very, very soft.
Yeah, it is. Now, this is a drawing, right? Color pencil?
Yes, it's a color pencil drawing, right?
Yeah, and I thought we had kind of talked about this one before. So, I know you want to keep this very soft, right? And your value ranges and everything in here are working pretty well. Though on your leaves, even if they're in kind of extreme light, I think they would have a little more color in them than these guys. Okay. So and that would give you more contrast with your drawing of the flower itself, and really help you see it. Because right now the drawing needs a little more contrast, so it really has some punch. And it may be, the photograph. It may not be the drawing. I don't know, because I don't know the situation you shot.
Yeah, it was a photograph.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you took a photograph of your work, I don't know how much light was on it or whatever, but yeah, it seems like there was a lot of light on it, and it kind of, blew it out a little bit. So be careful with that. When you photograph your work, try to get it in good, even light so that when you do photograph it, it will pick up as much of the color as you have in there. Okay.
Okay.
We got your tree. Okay. And so your tree's coming along pretty well, and it's not looking flat. Your shapes are overlapping in areas. Let's see, where's there it is. Yeah, right here, how this branch moves in front of these two. And that's nice, so you've, with that one simple thing, you've suggested that there's some form and some depth in there. And so, look for opportunities to do little things like that. Okay?
Okay.
That's a good thing. Okay, yeah, now we're back to your cake. These, yeah, I had downloaded these earlier. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I just want, because last time you didn't get them, so I still don't know how that happened. But
okay. Well, it's called email. So
yeah, it goes into cyberspace, I guess. If it doesn't.
Sometimes, things just don't end up where they're supposed to. I know how that works. Okay, so Wanda.
Yes.
Yes, whoop. Let's go back. All right, so you got a still life here, girlfriend.
Yes, I'm starting to learn how to do glass.
Yes.
I've just started it, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to get everything together with it.
Okay, and you're beginning to pull off the idea of the transparency?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, fairly well. Now,
And I'm working with oil.
oh, it's oil paint?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. Well, see, that makes the possibilities almost endless then.
Yes, yes.
Because the nice thing about oil paint, you can always put on more oil paint.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if there's a problem, you just go back in and repaint that area.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can do it 20 or 30 times till you get.
I probably will.
Well, that's how you learn, dear.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah, don't be afraid of that. Now, what I'd say here is these are all translucent or transparent objects, right?
Yes.
And so like now, is this jar actually is it steamed up or is it actually a clear glass jar?
It's a clear glass. I'm gonna try and haze in some of the background colors. You can see that it's supposed to be see-through.
Yes.
So, so I just started. I haven't been doing it that long, so.
Okay. Yeah, if it's clear glass, right, then it's going to show whatever's behind it, right?
Yeah, right.
And the only thing that you're really going to see of the glass itself are any like deep reflected shadows or very light reflected highlights.
Okay.
Okay, and then that's going to tell you where the jar is, where the boundaries are, all that stuff. So, yeah, don't fog your glass out.
Okay.
If it's clear, just let it be. It's sitting on top of whatever the background is. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
All right. But yeah, that's coming along pretty well. And then we have this young lady peeking out from.
I love that one.
Yes, I did this last year in a ceramics class I was in, and I drew the picture on this transfer paper, and then I put it inside the piece of tile, and rubbed it, and then it transferred onto there.
Okay.
And then I put it with a washable glaze on top of it.
So my question is, so what media did you start with?
This is acrylic.
So you put the acrylic on the transfer paper?
No, I took the picture and put on. I drew the picture on the transfer paper.
Oh, okay.
And then I put that on the tile.
Okay.
Pulled that off, and then I painted it.
I see. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So all the paint is directly on the surface.
Yes, yes. And then we glazed it, and voila, there it is.
Okay. Now, when you say you glazed it, was that like a, like a clear glaze?
Yes, it was clear, but it was called a washable glaze.
Okay. Did you have to fire the piece again, or did you?
No. This we bought the tiles themselves, and then we put the painting on the tile.
Okay. All right. So it never went in the kiln, though.
No, that one never went in the kiln.
Okay. Yeah, because if you did this with underglazes, you would have to fire it.
Oh yeah, no.
Glaze. But okay, this is a paint process. So.
Yeah, this was a technique that they were trying, and came out pretty nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's fun. So, yeah. Now, when you're using acrylic, all right, back in, when dinosaurs roamed the earth and acrylic, right?
Yeah.
The way that you got acrylic to stick to glass or any kind of like non-porous surface, well, you took a little tiny bit of dish soap and you dropped a little bit of that into your acrylic paint and stirred it in, and then it would adhere to the surface of the glass or whatever you were painting on. Now you can actually go out and buy acrylic paint that's made to go on non-porous surfaces like glass, ceramics, things like that.
Oh yeah.
And it works better now because they've actually got a bonding agent that will help it bond to like a really slick surface like a tile. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. So that will make that'll make it a lot easier to work on. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So anybody got anything to say before we go away? It is Friday.
Yes, it is. Hey.
Very nice, Wanda.
Thank you.
Very nice. And are you displaying this in your home?
Well, actually, I keep it in my bedroom, and sometimes at night I'm drinking a cup of tea or something. I'll sit it on there.
Use it as a coaster.
Yeah, because it's about a 10 by 10.
Very nice.
Thank you.
A child.
Yes, it is very nice.
Thank you.
Yes.
Did you get anything from me this morning, Bernice?
I did, but you weren't here at the first of the class.
That's true.
You were the first up. We started talking.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
And it's like, okay, where's Bernice? So, yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, we passed you by, but okay. So this is this watercolor or acrylic, Bernice?
Acrylic.
Okay. All right.
I was trying to figure out how to blend it better.
Okay. And you're using, it looks like a piece of paper that you're painting on, right?
The thing that I'm painting, that's the back of photo paper, just 8.5 by 11. The back, how the back is not smooth.
Right.
Yeah. But it was kind of thick, so I thought for that,
Yeah. Okay. Well, and the thing is, the photo paper isn't very porous. And even though you're using the back of it, the paint isn't going to lay down smooth on it until you get a little more paint on it. Okay. And that's kind of the way it works. Now, if you're using, say, like a Bristol board or a museum board or something like that to paint on, then you can treat it like watercolor and you can keep it transparent and you can use it like washes, which is kind of what you're doing here. The thing is, it's like the paper isn't working with you to really kind of take the paint.
Oh, okay.
Now, again, you've got this layer of paint down there. And so now you can go back over it and you can begin to build up the paint and it will begin to stick better, and you can soften things. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, you've got, the placement for the lights and the shadows and things like that. And some of the shadows are still a little bit too dark, right? And some of the lights are not light enough, right? So you need to push that contrast out there. But as you get more paint on it, you're going to find it's easier, you know, to
Oh,
work
okay.
with. Okay.
So main thing is go back to Canvas.
Well, yeah, Canvas generally works better,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with painting than paper. Okay.
Okay.
Now I said it that way because watercolor is not painting.
Okay.
Watercolor is watercolor, right? And you usually paint watercolor on watercolor paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these days they actually have like hard surfaces that have like a clay coating on it that you can paint watercolor on. Works pretty well. Okay. So you know, you don't have to stretch that stuff and all like you do watercolor paper, but you know, with this acrylic and working on paper, again, you know, just, you know, I'm sure that's dry by now. So now you can go back and you can make some of the lighter values, right? And some of the mid-tone values and begin to soften that. And as you begin to soften it, it should start looking a little more like him. Okay?
Well, actually, I used the photo paper because I have a lot of it, and that's taped on top of another picture because the other one turned out even worse. And so I was just trying to use something that I could keep repainting and repainting and repainting until it looked right to me.
Yeah, and you can, you know, I mean, it's fine. You know, I'm just saying you're not going to get it the first time out on a piece of photo paper or the back of a piece of photo paper because of how porous the surface is, right?
Oh, okay.
And so you need to build up your paint, you know, layer by layer. As you get more paint on there, you're going to find it's easier, you know.
Oh, maybe I should pre-paint it off color then.
You could put a background color or something down, and that would help seal the paper.
Okay.
As you're doing it, okay?
Okay.
There's lots of ways around that.
Did I get any likeness at all?
Yeah, you've got the beginning of you know who this guy is. Now, your face is looking a little broader across the front plane than it does long right now. But when you start really looking at side to side, you know, he's got a little more head up here.
Oh, okay.
Right? And
his ear
down here is like, yeah, see, it comes out a little bit further. And
oh, yeah.
Angle to that neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not, you know, his head isn't sitting squarely on his shoulders. You know, he's turned, he's looking, you know, in a direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just little things like that. But mainly what I want you to work on is get more paint on here and start making, you know, edges softer, right?
Okay.
So that they're not quite so strong in contrast. And then as you do that, you know, he's going to begin to look a little more round and dimensional, right? Rather than kind of flat or patchy areas, all right?
I'm thinking when I transition from one color to the other, I need more colors. You know, I mean, I need more, you know, like light and light and light and light and lighter for acrylic paint.
Right.
You know, I need, see, I probably use like 4 colors where I probably should be using my 8.
Yeah, oh, well, okay. You know, you can make every color in the rainbow if you have the secondary and the primary colors. So that's red, yellow, blue, orange, green, and violet with white. You can be able to make any color out there, including black.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now a lot of people buy black, but I don't really recommend it. In fact, I usually, like with paint kits and stuff like that, I always take black out because I don't want a student having black because they'll overuse it and the blacks are too cool in temperature. And you can mix a better black than you can buy.
Okay.
All right. But we can kind of get into that discussion later on because that's a long discussion. we could have a week-long discussion about blacks. and how to mix black and, you know, how to shift the temperature and the intensity of it. So, but we'll do that a different day. But the main thing is, yeah, get some lighter values. But again, look at the edges, you know, so you soften the edges. So you don't see a hard outline here, right?
No.
And if you don't see a hard outline, then don't make a hard outline. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you do see a hard outline like here under his nose, like here in the ears, right? The bridge of his nose, you know, in around, you know, just a little bit around the eyes, like the upper eyelid on this side has kind of a hard line. But yeah, there are really not all that many hard lines in his face, okay?
Okay.
So that'll get him to look more like him.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks
So,
a lot.
yeah? Anybody got anything before we go away? All right. So all I can say is have a happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I think the weather's supposed to be kind of nice. Okay.
Yeah, the sun's gonna be out too. Yay.
Yeah. So get out. You know,
Happy New Year.
yeah, get a little sun. Work on your vitamin D. Okay. You know.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Charles. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.